30-year-old Jamila Smith from Jackson, South Carolina, was kidnapped, brutally ran over, and murdered by her evil ex-boyfriend after she decided to move on with her life. Jamila Smith was a beautiful, outgoing woman who was truly a sunshine of light to anyone around her. She was the mother of 2 beautiful children and would do anything in the world to keep a smile on their face. 34-year-old Daniel Harmon was the father of Jamila's children and also her boyfriend. He was very sweet and kind to Jamila and her children and seemed to love the family very much. But Daniel also had a very bad temper and anger issues that would eventually show in their relationship. Now, Jamila slightly knew about Daniel's criminal history and temper, but she would look past it and accept Daniel for who he was. But little did she know, that would be the worst mistake of her life. Shortly after the birth of their second child, things would slowly begin to change for the couple. Daniel started to abuse Jamila. He would also threaten to kill her and himself if things ever went left with the couple. Friends and family pleaded with Jamila to leave Daniel and move on with her life, but for some odd reason, she couldn't. 34-year-old Daniel Harmon would pick up Jamila Smith one afternoon and take her car shopping. Now, everything was going great that day, until somehow the two would get into a heated argument. Daniel would then drop Jamila back off at home, but for some odd reason, he would come back hours later, beating on her door, demanding that she came with him. Jamila would refuse and somehow managed to flee her apartment and call the police. Now, as she was running down the street, Daniel would somehow catch up to her with his car and brutally run her over with his vehicle. He would then get out of the car, pick Jamila up, and put her into his vehicle. Thankfully, Jamila was still on the phone with the police while all of this was going on, and they were able to listen in on everything. The next morning, Jamila's mom would call to check on her, but there was no answer. And after she attempted to call her again, she would immediately get worried and call police. Police would then begin an investigation and search of the missing mother. And after connecting the strange 911 call from that night to Jamila, they were able to obtain a search warrant for Daniel Harmon's property. At the property, police would find dried up blood in the spare tire area of Daniel's car, which was later identified as Jamila's. Police would then arrest 34-year-old Daniel Harmon on kidnapping and domestic violence charges, and later upgrade his charges to murder. Sadly, Jamila Smith's body was never found.